obviously it was a good win to get Saturday night, and it's kind of nice being in this rhythm of having the games and spending yesterday kind of looking at what we need to clean up and then getting on with our preparation for Navy. So I thought again there was a lot of other things that were good in Saturday night's game, and certainly areas that we've got to clean up on really all three phases. So obviously, Navy, you're going to present some problems or challenges. We've got it defensively. It's a style that we've got to make sure that we're prepared for, and they obviously do a great job of running that offense and defensively. Preparing again for a little bit type of different defense, so we're going to have a good week of preparation.
Do you feel readier to face an offense like that after some of the offenses you've already seen?
Yeah, I mean there's some similar, but I think it's the next 2 weeks it's totally different than anything we've really seen. But I feel good as far as our guys. We spent some time in camp on it. We got to go back to that. We got to go perform on Saturday, obviously, but I think our guys will have an idea what to expect. So.
Do you like having this? I mean, you just touched on the 2-week block of triple option teams back to back, as opposed to 1 week here, 1 week there.
Depends how we play. But it's. But I think there is some. Certainly. This week, we got to do a great job of getting ready for it. The scout team's got to do a great job. All that. So. I think this week.
It seems like you play different offense almost every week. I mean, Duke.
Yeah.
Way different than what you're going to see on Saturday. Is college football more diverse these days than it used to be?
Yeah, I think it is. But I think it's been happening for a while now. It's not like all of a sudden in the last year or two you kind of have seen it. But I think it is. There's certainly a lot of people doing a lot of different things, and so it does make for each week preparation is its own entity, and that's where it's hard. You clean up one thing and that's against that style, offensively, defensively, and then some weeks it doesn't, not much carries over, and then there's other weeks that kind of we were talking about with Sam. I mean, there are probably more that can carry over. So.
With this type of offense, I mean, how different or how similar is it to New Mexico and to what you'll see next week against Georgia Tech?
I think some of the principles are similar. I think how they get to it is a little bit different. Where New Mexico would seem to be a little bit more in using the pistol and kind of the gun. Certainly, this is different than that. So, and that's football a little bit. I mean, there's 11 guys on each side, unless you play north of the border, 12. But you can only do so many things in option football. You have option principles and things you have to do defensively, and we've got to make sure our kids understand it. Before that, make sure we got a good plan, and then make sure our kids understand it. Then you got to go out and you got to play the game. So I think there's some principles that carry over from some of the things we've done this year, but certainly not to this extent, or it's presented a little bit different.
What do you think the root cause of it? Is it just recruiting problems, or trying to find the right fit?
I think it's there's some coaches that are kind of knowing who they have and what fits their people. I remember when the spread first came in, it was really to spread them out to be able to run the football. Originally, and if you go back, and I bet you'd be talking to some older coaches, they'd say that's no different than I've heard some older coaches say we're just single wing. Here we go. So. I think it's a number of different things. Coaches that are smart, good football coaches that are adjusting to the people that they have, and maybe gives them a chance to compete, whether it be in the conference or the league, whatever that is. And a lot of time talking about it.
Well, you talked about in your 4 victories have kind of been by combined different ways. rushing, won a couple games, defense, one game, passing, another.
Right.
That must be a little bit gratifying, is that?
Yeah, it's certainly, yeah, I mean, anytime you go out and play, the object is to compete and to win. And, it's good to say we've found different ways to win, that you can build on and then you can look at the other side of the coin and say, well, we gotta be consistent and, but it is good, and I think our guys understand, wins come in different ways. And you gotta kind of embrace that, what it is that moment, keep playing. So I think there are some things to build on, certainly, with Paul.
Paul, what's so unique about playing one of the service schools? Not a lot of schools can play one of those schools.
I haven't been a part of that. This will be my first time, and certainly, there's my brother actually worked in the Naval Academy for 3 years, and I think that I think there's a fine line. We're playing a football game. The value and the pageantry and everything of the academies, it's unbelievable. And I think that you certainly appreciate all that, and yet you got to make sure that you're playing a game this week, and it doesn't equate to how much you appreciate all they do and what those places are. But I've never been a part of it. I haven't been to a game. My dad went to an Army-Navy game. If you're a fan of football, the service academies certainly have earned their right in the history of college football.
Thank you, Brother Rick.
Yeah.
What did he do there?
He was sports information.
Can you talk about the challenge the defensive line is going to face this week? I know they can do a lot of cut blocking, that kind of stuff. How do you prepare for that?
Yeah. You try to, I think, we're going to try to make it as real as possible. They've got to be able to certainly handle that and take care of their responsibilities. So you just got to hit it head on.
Is it any more challenging having to get back into this kind of defend the run mindset after playing against the spread like you do Saturday?
I don't think so. I think you just take a team for who they are and their strengths, and we got to make sure that we stay disciplined, because you can also be vulnerable. You can't overcompensate and play the run and then give up some easy action passes. But that's what the job assignment is this week. So it's embrace it.
After watching the film, offensive line play better against Old Dominion than
Yeah, I
previous
thought we
weeks?
did. And I thought O-line played better, and I thought Isaac ran hard. But I think they did play better.
What did that do to your running back situation back there with Isaac having such a nice game, stepping in for James?
He'll get to run some more, and then James will, it really doesn't change, where we're at with it. Expect James to still contribute quite a bit, and Rashid gives us a little bit of he's given us some good snaps, so I don't see it changing anything, and really appreciative and happy for what Isaac did. Obviously, they went well.
How close were Corey and Devin James next to play?
Getting close.
I mean, how close were they Saturday? Was it?
Yeah.
Paul, did you plan on using Rashid a little bit more, but since Isaac was running pretty well, he kind of played out?
Yeah, just see how it plays out. And, James would have been, was dressed and ready to go if we needed him. But I thought Isaac was playing, running pretty hard, and so we weren't going to try to say, only this many. I think treating James different than we do with Rashid.
What's it do confidence-wise for Isaac, and I guess for you, knowing that he can do what he did with 30 carries and take the workload?
Yeah, I think it's always good for a back, to feel that and to be able to do it. I don't think it changes our confidence in him or his own confidence. I'd be surprised if that wasn't something he thought he could do. But I think there is something to actually going out and being able to do it, and feeling it the next day, and how you come back. I think those are kind of stages of growth. So I think that it's. I don't think it changes what we thought. I wasn't. Certainly happy for him and all that, but I wasn't shocked. Like, boy, I didn't know if he could withstand that number of carries. So. But I would think he'd do the same way.
I know you touched on this after the game. Todd Thomas didn't play because of the packages you guys are in. As the season goes forward, is that something you want to try to do, work him into those, or are you happy with the person?
I mean, I thought, I'm happy with the way Todd's progressed, and I thought we had the right plan for what we're doing, and I think it's our job to make sure that we're putting players in position they can be most successful, and so I don't think one like Todd couldn't come up to speed, one like Todd wasn't ready. Should something happen at that, so I don't know if we, each week to week kind of stuff, so we'll kind of see how it goes. I haven't gotten past this week.
He's a very athletic guy. What is it about him or about your scheme that he didn't fit?
I'm not saying he didn't fit. We just thought that we were going to be better off with some of the DB types. And so that's where, and like I said, if something would have happened to one of those, then you lean on the linebacker for a little bit. But they weren't. We thought going in. Obviously, they had a couple big runs on us, but we didn't think. We thought they were most dangerous in the pass game, and so we were going to. Guys that spend a lot of time while the D-line linebackers over at inside run, DBs are working one-on-ones, so we wanted to kind of use our people that way.
How'd the team come out of this game health-wise, injury-wise?
You know what, came out of it pretty, Isaac cramped up just a little bit, and that was the only one that I, as far as the game, didn't finish, and Isaac could have gone back in, too, so right now I think we're all right.
Well, I think I asked you this last year, this time 6 games through the season, halfway through. Where are you, I see you're still trying to progress, but for the 6 first games, have you made the progressions you would have liked at the beginning of the season looking at?
I think in some areas, we have, certainly, I think as a coach, you feel best that you've got a pretty good idea 6 games in who you really are. I think in camp, there was some question marks. You come out of camp thinking this is who you might be. You're obviously appreciative of a lot of the work that's gone in, but I don't think you're ever, as a coach, when you say pleased with where you're at. No, you know what I mean, because you want to be better. But it's the seasons it's a journey, and it's all part of it. And we never pin this team, these players into this is where you got to be at this point, this is where you got to be at that point. I think our job is to make sure that they're doing all they can to be the best they can be, and